is our going to be our narrowboat section of our trip. We're looking at some canals here, locks in Chester, England, and it looks like it's a multi-lock. It's our first experience with the narrowboats and all of the systems that they use to navigate in England. A very picturesque town. We just walked the wall. It was a wonderful experience up along the thing. It was hundreds of years old. Houses along there very old too. There's a gentleman on the way up is bringing a boat up. He's adjusting the lock levels. They're all manual. And we're just going to hang around and see what happens. There's a couple of narrowboats up the towpath. We're going to walk up there too and take a look at them. And then hopefully tomorrow we're going to go to a lock, some more locks, and we're going to see an aqueduct tomorrow. And I'm going to save that for later. These locks are pushed open by human power. There's no motor, it's all human power. The boaters are given a wrench and they manipulate the valves to close the valve up and down to flood the lock or drain the lock. All manual, very old locks, old canal system. The boaters are given a wrench, I think they call it a windlass, and they crank, these are the valves that they crank open and close to drain the lock or fill the lock. There should be a set at each end. Here's some information on the lock. Northgate Locks and Cutting. 18th century manufacturing, I guess, was the reason they built these locks. If you're interested in more, check online. In theory, if a boat is, I'll say, downbound, they push these locks manually open and drive in, close the lock behind, and then they go the other end and drain it. Well, here's our first narrowboat. Our first official narrowboat we see in the water. And it's called Little Nipper. Looks like it's really well decked out. Just looking at it. Here's the system they use to steer it. It's just a straight rudder with a pin in it and holds it together. Really well kept boat. Here's another one up here. I'll walk up to it. Here's boat 2. I think it's a little older than the other one. It's called the 12th Night Gailey. Cool. We've been pretty excited to see narrowboats. Hope to see a couple driving down the canal here at some point. They're very well decked out. This one here has got sink and everything. It's pretty cool. This is the towpath part of the canal. The boats used to be pulled by horses through here. So now it's a nice walking path, bicycle path, and the boats just come right through here. I guess at some point the Romans came through here and built a lot of this around here. I don't think they built the canals per se, but they did build some walls here. These walls that we're standing next to are incredibly old, especially the wall. Coming up here on the bridge. Donna, what's the bridge called again?
Chester Bridge of Sighs. They said that it was going to be a tunnel, but when they started digging, they found Roman ruins, so they had to turn it into what they call a cut. You could ride a bike along here.
That guy's riding along here. That'd make one mistake, he's gonna be swimming. So there is a current through here, which is a good thing. We're coming up onto this Bridge of Sighs, which is pretty much the reason we came to the little town here. The canal is a bonus. Okay, this is the Bridge of Sighs here. We're coming up on it. We did look at it from up above. We're down here by the canal now. And it is all old here. There's definitely an old construction feel to it. If you look at the walls down here, the walls are almost have a microclimate. Very different from up above in the sunlight. This tunnel is super old. Super old. These walls are all bricked up. I don't know what was back behind them, but there was probably some form of industry. And back in the day, the boats probably pulled up and they dumped into them and the boats would leave. Now it's all walled off. There's, I believe, accommodation in behind. There's a blue narrowboat, a little shorter than the other ones. Not sure if the people are home.
There's another one beyond it. There's this one, and then there's one more beyond it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna stop here for a brew. This is our first narrowboat. Going by, we're having a beer here. Our first narrowboat. Closing the valve.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here we go.
Oh, it's going.
My first chance on a narrowboat.
Good for you.
What's your name?
Chris.
Hi, Chris. I'm Fred.
Hi, Fred. Wow, I've got
Hope you
it.
don't mind the help, buddy.
Absolutely not. Not sure I would have done that on my own.
Okay, we're going. Right to the rail. There we go.
Thank you.
You're my pleasure.